Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming right at you wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Welcome to the channel. If you could smash the like button, that would super help support this channel, get this content out to more people. Love all the comments and the questions. I read all of those. I look to get back to those questions as soon as I can. And also, if you haven't joined our ever-growing community, we have over 3,000 subscribers already in just over a month. You can click the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever there is a new episode. So we're going to jump right into it today. Bitcoin had a little bit of a pump, and the pump was due, I believe, in part to the outages that we had. The banks went down, the airlines went down, Microsoft Windows-based system. The disruption was caused by a software issue with CrowdStrike's Falcon Sensor pattern platform. I can get that right. So banks went down, planes were grounded, and you can look into this. I'm not going to do a deep dive into this. Bitcoin didn't go down. Bitcoin kept rolling on. The show must go on, okay? And so if we look at, and we're going to jump into the Bitcoin charts here, and we can see that on Bitcoin, I've been looking at this 50-day moving average, which is, I've colored it blue. You can color it whatever you want on your charts. And it's been really hugging, retested. We've had 4 tests of it in 4 days. Certainly, I am looking to see if we continue to test it. I feel if we keep testing it, just like we tested the 200 EMA to the downside, and I did warn about this. I said on my channel numerous times, everybody's calling, oh no, we're going to 48, we're going to 49, we're going to 44, and maybe that could have happened, but I just didn't think it was likely. And I shared this on my channel, and what I said ended up being exactly spot on. I said, you can go back and watch all the episodes. Previously, I said that we do, number one, we do not stay below the 200 EMA for very long in a bull market, days, weeks, at the very most months, and that's unusual, but not very long. And secondly, that it just kept testing it every day. It was banging away on it. We broke over it with such force, we didn't come back to retest. So my only concern here, there's a CME gap here, and there's also the 200 EMA that hasn't been retested. It doesn't have to be retested. The CME gap doesn't have to be filled right away. It can be filled at a later time. And so some people have asked, what is the CME gap? And so I thought I would just share a quick summary of what the CME gap is. Essentially, it's the difference. You know, the CME futures market only trades from Friday night to Sunday night. And so basically, it's whatever happens with the Bitcoin price in between creates a bit of a CME gap. And generally, that does get closed. So the CME is closed on the weekends. The cryptocurrency markets remain open. So because Bitcoin pumped hard from like that 58K level right up to wherever it was on Monday, Sunday night when the markets reopen, there's a gap there that is now created, and they generally get filled. And you can do your own kind of research on that. I'm not going to go a deep dive into that. You can go into the history of how many CME gaps get filled, and you can go into all that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so let's jump back to the Bitcoin price here, and as we can see, that we are still under this trend line here, that we broke down from this trend line. This was the big breakdown from the trend line that caused the July 4th crash. So it would be obvious for me that we'd find some resistance here. Maybe we come back, retest here. Maybe we do come back and fill that gap. Maybe we come back to 58. We could possibly do that. I think if we broke down below the 50-day moving average, butted our head on there, and had rejections there, then this area here becomes an area of interest between about 59,000 up to about 61,000. So 59 to 61 would be an area that if we broke down from the 50-day moving average, that would be an area of interest for me. Of course, in here, this is going to get tighter and tighter. This the 50-day moving average currently is sitting around about 64,000, and we're up almost at 66,000. So it's like a $2,000 gap. But the longer we spend over the 50-day moving average, this will average up, and then we'll push into this here, and we're going to either pop up or we're going to pop down there. So we'll see. We have also, this is fairly bullish, that we're now green on the ribbons here. So as you can see, we were green. As soon as it turns red, that was a warning, danger, and now we're back into green here as we broke above the 200 EMA. That would have been a good place to take a trade. Okay, so that's the update on Bitcoin there. Again, I think the pump was in partial cause due to the outages that happened with banks and with the airlines that had issues and flights were grounded. Certainly, we will see if this pump is then sold off and we come back again to test the 50-day moving average again. And again, that's my concern, is if we keep slamming down on it. There's been 4 times that it's happened. We'll see if after today's close, what the close is, and if we're going to then retest it again. And I'm certainly looking for some great volume and a great pump away from that and just get it moving away from that 50-day moving average. Okay, so we're also going to look at Ethereum, because Ethereum, of course, has its ETF coming up. So, okay, so here is the Ethereum chart here. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a similar situation here where we have it just poking above the 50-day moving average. Ethereum's basically doing the opposite of Bitcoin, where it's kind of stuck under there. It's broken above. You can see, look at this. It's broken above the 200 EMA. There, again, doesn't spend too long behind it. We had the Lux Algo order block here. We are now coming into some strong resistance here. We have obviously a lot there. We saw this entire wick actually just get eaten up, by the way. So the ETF news just got completely eaten up. But I would expect us to get back at least to where we broke down from here at around 3,900. So I'm going to be expecting that we do break above this 50-day moving average. We break above this trend line here. We have another trend line here, and I think we come and test into here as well. Now, of course, if Bitcoin does break down, then the areas that I'm looking for re-adding is going to be around the 3,100. And if we do go a little bit deeper below, I just don't think we're going to lose this 200 EMA again here, and not for a little while anyway. So I would expect this to provide some strong support at about 3,100. So that's where I would be putting some bids in, down around there. Of course, there is some other support here around 3,300 as well. So if I was dollar cost averaging here, I'd probably put some bids in at about 3,300. 3,100, and then the top of this EMA ribbon band is about 3,350. So there's a couple of area of interest there for me, and we certainly can see that on the Fibonacci's we have an area of confluence here where we have around the 3,100 area, which is down around where we have the 200 EMA. This again didn't get a retest, just like Bitcoin, so it's possible we come down and get a retest on that one as well. Okay, now I want to have a look at one more. I want to look at Solana. And if we look at Solana here, so Solana's had a little bit of a nice breakout to the upside, but look at my trend line. It is banging its head on it every single time. We have a Lux Algo order block here to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed through and retested and then continued on to the upside. But also we could just stay in here and come back and retest this 50-day moving average. I mean, as you can see, unlike Bitcoin, so I'll show you this. This is what I'm looking for from Bitcoin, is that it busted above it and it's just taken off. Now, I'd like to see that come back and retested. So I'm looking at about $150. Of course, this moving average is always moving up. If we saw a further breakdown to the downside around 140, and then at the extremes 135, and then we're back down into the seller there. So there are some good targets there to the upside. If we did break out from this wedge here, if we zoom out, then there is more resistance here at about, obviously we've got the Lux Algo up here at about 175. so we could bump up another $7 or so. There is some more resistance here around the 185 and then around the $200 mark. I will be taking some more profits off the table around 200. So I have my long-term hodl bag, and I have my accumulation bag, and I have my trade as well. And so my accumulation one is the one I'm swinging, and I was accumulating all down around these areas here. So once I see this break above here, I'll be looking at taking profit on that up around 200, and I'll obviously be buying back any pullbacks. Okay, so there's Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. I want to talk about one more little thing that we have here, and it is about the Musk Empire game. And this is similar if you play Hamster Kombat, a subscriber to the Discord. And if you haven't subscribed to the Discord yet, the link is in the description, stockswithjosh.com. You can get signed up on the Discord there, and I'm in the crypto channel daily in there, interacting with the most awesome community of people, incredible people in there. And so this was brought to my attention. I started to play it a little bit. I do notice they don't have a link to link your TON wallet yet for an airdrop. So this could be quite early, as in with Hamster Kombat, we were quite late to the party. It started in March and we got in on June. The airdrops for Hamster Kombat is meant to be in July. So I'm not expecting a huge return because I missed 75% of the mining. However, I believe this one started a little bit later here. And so they started look in July 2024. So I'm getting in a little bit earlier on this one. There are a couple of others that I have been playing that I haven't mentioned because I'm investigating, and I am testing it out and trying it out. I do like this one. It is pretty cool. I do think I like it a little bit more than Hamster Kombat for different reasons. I think they've improved the model there. There is a link in the description below if you would like to get started in this game. Careful, because there are a lot of other little scam links out there, whatever. This link below in the description at the top will be a legit link and will take you to the game, and you can start mining on the Musk Empire. Certainly getting in early is the key to getting the most out of your airdrops. I'm just letting you know what I do, and that I do appreciate the Discord for alerting me to that and being able to get on there. And again, the link is down in the description. Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up here. I do want to share one last thought to you, and the thought is this. Have you ever thought about taking profits, or do you ever take profits in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana? Now, the reason that I say that, with this banks going down and US dollar being printed and inflation, etc., is this. When I trade anything on the base chain, I don't take profits into USDT. I take it into Ethereum. That's number one. So everything I do on the base chain, I take my profits into Ethereum. Why? Well, look, I even have my rewards Visa card pay me in Ethereum, and I am up like 150 or 200% on my rewards on my Visa card. If I had just taken that into US dollars, I wouldn't have as much rewards. I have like 2x, 3x the rewards just based on that. And I say that in saying that, yes, I think it's a good idea, by the way, if wherever in your country, if you have any kind of Visa or MasterCard, that you can get your points in crypto is advantageous, in my opinion. And so I take my profits into Ethereum on the base chain for that reason, because I just feel that we're in a bull market long term. We're just going to keep going up. Now, of course, I'm going to cash out at some point on the way up, and I have my levels and my cheat sheet, and I have redone my cheat sheet, not redone it, but I have filled in a lot of my cheat sheet. And I will take a quick look at that in a minute. But secondly, for any coins that I'm trading on my Phantom wallet, and if you don't know what Base or Phantom is and how to trade on those, then I would recommend you looking up. I've got some videos and tutorials on that. You can go and check that out. So all the Phantom meme coins, all the Solana meme coins, all the profits I don't take into into stable coins, I take it back into Solana. And of course, why not? It's gone from $10 or whatever up to $200, and I think it will go to $600, $800, $900 by the end of this bull run. And so that's what I do. Also, most of the main cryptos, you can trade the Bitcoin pairing. So if you go to here, for example, and you say, oh, I want to take my let's just say my ton profits into Bitcoin, you can do that. You can trade and you can sell ton into Bitcoin. You can sell your ton coin into Bitcoin. In fact, most of the major ones that are there can be traded into, you can trade your Casper profits into Bitcoin. Why? Because we know over the course of this bull run. Now, of course, if you're wanting to use those profits and reinvest into the market, and you don't want to be caught with, I put it all in Bitcoin and now Bitcoin's dumped and all the alts are dumped, and so now my buying power is less. Well, of course, then you can rethink your strategy on that. But I'm just saying that if you're taking a good place to, in my opinion, to put some of your profits, and not maybe all of it, and not, I'm all about diversification, but you could do the same. You could put some of it into gold. You could put some of it into Bitcoin. You could put some of it in the stock market, and people are constantly rotating from the stock market into crypto and crypto back into the stock market. But here I'm specifically talking about how you can take your profits from an altcoin and put it straight into Bitcoin or straight into Ethereum or straight into Solana. And so there's food for thought there. If you haven't ever thought of that before, if you haven't done that before, even on my MetaMask wallet, I could take profit straight into one, Ethereum, for example, on there. So if you haven't thought of that, that's just food for thought, because I do think the bull run should at least last until around about the fall of 2025. So we have a little bit over a year. Sure, it could end a little bit earlier, but the amount of gains that can be made there can be massive. So just food for thought that, of course, we're above the 50-day moving average right now for Bitcoin. The structure has broken out of this correction that we've been in for some time. And if we continue to go to the upside, this is something that I'll be doing more and more, taking profits into Solana, Ethereum, or Bitcoin. And so what I'm doing is all these profits from the altcoins that I can then push into the big three. And I can also take my Solana profits into Bitcoin, for example, or my Ethereum profits into Bitcoin, so it can all feed and grow. Because at the end of the day, if one day Bitcoin becomes the gold standard in the United States of America or any major country in the world, we're going to see the price of Bitcoin go incredibly, incredibly high. And so it's just some food for thought for today. I hope that helps somebody out there. Certainly not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, for education and entertainment purposes only. And if you haven't checked out my cheat sheet, the link is below in the description. I list everything alphabetical, so things are super easy to find. I have updated all of the exits column. They're all updated with the exit prices, all the others column, and of course my main cheat sheet here has everything added to it as well. All right, well, that's it for today. And until the next episode, happy trading.